Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Mo aka Swedish Whiskey Girl, and today we are here with Balvenie 21 Portwood. So I have this little sample here from a tasting we did with the Hip Flask Hiking Club the other week, and it was Gemma and Jamie from the Balvenie team who hosted. Really interesting to hear more about it, and as I mentioned in my other Balvenie video that I did the other day when I reviewed the Double Wood, I don't have that much of an experience or like a personal connection to Balvenie, so it's one of the reasons that I haven't had as much of their whiskey. But when we did the tasting, I think this Portwood was my favourite out of the ones we tried. I actually have a note here. So we tried the Double Wood, so the 12-year-old, the Caribbean Cask, 14-year-old, Week of Peat, Edge of Burnhead Wood, the Portwood, and then one of their ton expressions. And yeah, I think from that lineup it was the 21 that we're trying today that was my favourite. It's from memory, Balvenie's character has been a little bit too woody for my personal taste, but this Portwood was a little bit more on the fruity side, which is probably why I preferred it, but we're going to see what I think of it today. It is a 40% ABV, but I also found out that if you buy the Portwood in duty free, then it comes at a higher ABV, 47.6 I think, and it's also non-chill filtered. So if you maybe like Balvenie but you prefer something at higher strength, then maybe that's one for you to keep an eye out the next time it's possible to be somewhere where you can buy it duty free. But this is at £150 retail price, and it's of course a 21-year-old whiskey that has been finished in vintage port pipes. So port pipes are of course the cask that you tend to use for port, and they're massive, they're quite big. They're pretty much similar to a sherry butt. So are they maybe, I can't remember now, it's somewhere around there. And these are also about 30-year-old port pipes, so quite old ones, which also makes me think how much character are you getting out of these casks? Are they casks that are quite tired, or are they casks that are quite like mellow in the way that you'll get a lot of it from it in the whiskey? Of course it's David Stewart who's created this whiskey. In 1996 I think it first came out, so I have no doubt that he knows what he's doing, but it's I'm quite fascinated by casks, so thinking like what would the difference be between using port pipes that have been used for 5 years compared to the port pipes that you've been using for 30 years. What's the difference and why is it beneficial to use one over the other? So it's just the kind of, I'm just talking out loud, my thoughts anyways. But we're gonna have a little look on the nose. This one feels quite fruity straight away on the nose. Also a bit like sawdust, so it definitely has a kind of woody note in there. And some grain, some dry barley, which is probably that sawdust woodiness with the grain coming all together. Quite grassy as well. It's an appley fruitiness, I would say. The thing is with port, I kind of want to say raspberries, but I'm really trying to be like, is it actually raspberries I'm getting, or do I just want to say it because of the port? I wouldn't say raspberries. I tried one yesterday. Now I can't remember what it was. Oh, actually it was the Tamnaville German Pinot Noir, and I got raspberries on that, but not really on this. It's some sort of other notes. It's like something more sour, so maybe like cranberries, something red but not as berry-esque, it's more tart. Sweetness, which is like a berry sweetness in there. Maybe more like a red apple sweetness. Let's have a little taste, Angela. Definitely think the first thing you're getting is the Balvenie character, that is quite woody. But it's finish is really nice when it kind of just grows out. But the initial thing is this kind of woodiness that is very classic Scotch woodiness. I think I've said this before about Balvenie. I think if you don't know the wide variety of whiskey, trying this would be like, this is very much a classic Scotch flavour. And it's a dry, rustic wood. It's quite robust, but not wet. Like, it's not heavy, but quite rustic and robust woodiness. Has a golden touch, like golden grain, which I think is a soft fruitiness, but I'm trying to identify what kind of fruitiness it is. Probably that red apple coming through again. But there's something tropical about it, almost like a mango notes. I think that's the golden thing. If you really kind of swirl it around your mouth, and then on the finish, it really sits very nicely. I even think this is, I think during the tasting they said this might be the one that is David Stewart's personal favourite. And I think that finish really has the complexity that you often find in whiskies that are over 20 years old. And this being 21, it would definitely fall in that category. So it's has such a big grassiness to it, but it's more that kind of tropical fruitiness coming through without being... It just sits back and it's very secure in itself, and it has... Like, you can tell that it's been sitting for amount of years, but also in good casks that have benefited the spirit, so that they've not taken over, but they've just given it this lovely kind of roundness. Now there's almost a bit of ginger spice on the nose. There's a very soft grassiness in with the woodiness, but is definitely really lovely. I think especially when you get past the first kind of interaction with it, and it's just kind of all these flavours start releasing, and then on the finish it sits really, really nicely. The nose is a little odd. I prefer it on the palate than on the nose, but it's... The oddness is that I'm struggling a little bit to place it, and every time I come back to it, it just changes. There's new things every time. Almost a little bit of a chemical note. And also some sort of cake. Maybe like a sponge cake and chemicals, but just softly. I mean, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you like Balvenie Portwood? I know some of you told me in the previous video that you do like this one, and I'd be very, very intrigued to hear if you have tried the duty-free expression with the 47.6% ABV. If you tried that one, perhaps you've compared it to the normal one. What did you think? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, I hope you've enjoyed this video and that you would consider maybe leaving a thumbs up or subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, I have some fun things coming up. I'm doing a wee interview with a friend from Dornoch Distillery, so we'll be filming that in a few weeks and it will be coming soon. And yeah, if you want to support the channel, I'd of course be over the moon if you consider using my affiliate links the next time you're shopping with either Master Malt Whisky Exchange or the Scotch Malt Whisky Society. All those links are in the description here below, as well as links to my other social channels if you're curious about those. And as always, I want to say a massive thank you to my wonderful supporters on Patreon. I'm so grateful to have you guys with me on my whiskey journey. And I've just posted to see if you guys have any questions for the Dornoch video that I will bring up there. I hope you've all had an absolutely wonderful day. Sláinte Skål!